cat. I'm sorry if you can hear her. Okay. She's lovely. Minasan, konnichiwa, squishy toke, yokoso. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you about 5 things Japan has a lot of. So if you like videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's begin. Okay, number 1, dentists. So in the UK, I would say we do have a few dentists, but people typically search forever to try and find a good one, and then they'll stick to that one good dentist for most of their life, or just for as long as possible. So my dentist, I've had for over 20 years. Also, I would say within 30 minutes of my house in the UK, in London, there is about 2 dentists that I can think of, whereas my house in Japan, within 30 minutes, there's probably at least 6, possibly even more than that. So yeah, there are a lot of dentists everywhere in Japan, which is really good because it means you will always have a dentist nearby. And obviously because their opening hours and closing hours are all different, you could pretty much find a dentist whenever you need one. I think the only problem with that would be it would be difficult to find a really good dentist. Although I've only been to 2 dentists in Japan and I can say that both of them were really good, so maybe it's not a problem in Japan. Definitely a lot of them, and if you didn't notice it before, maybe now that I've said it, you probably will notice it. I don't think there's such a thing as having too many dentists really, because it is an essential service, so maybe the more the better. I don't know. Okay, number 2. Vending machines. I feel like this is really obvious. Vending machines are absolutely everywhere in Japan, and Japan is kind of famous for them at this point, but there are a lot. Like, there are a lot, especially like we do have vending machines in the UK. Oh my goodness, when did I last see a vending machine in the UK? Oh, okay, so there was a vending machine in a shopping centre that I went to recently that had masks in it, which I'd never seen before. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only vending machine I've seen for the entire time that I've been here. But we definitely have them. In Japan, they are everywhere. I think where I live, just on my street, like outside my apartment in Japan, there are 4 vending machines? Maybe more than that? It's pretty crazy. But again, it's something that I love because if you want to get a drink and you can't be bothered to walk to the nearest convenience store, there is a vending machine. And also, if you're like me and you get really shy in public and don't like talking to anyone, vending machine. It's amazing. One of the things I was really shocked by was the fact that there are cigarette vending machines. We definitely don't have those in the UK. So when I first saw one, I was completely blown away. And also vending machines that sell alcohol. Oh my goodness. There is such a big underage drinking problem here that I just don't think an alcohol vending machine would work here. But also I've never used one in Japan, so I don't know how the ID system works. But yeah, either way, it was super interesting to see that. Okay, number 3. This kind of relates to vending machines, but convenience stores. They are everywhere in Japan, which again, I love for the same reason that I love vending machines, but they really are everywhere. We don't really have convenience stores in the UK, not really. We have small versions of our big supermarkets. So, for example, we have a big supermarket called Tesco, and then we have a smaller version called Tesco Express, which will often stay open later, but it won't have as much of a selection as like a normal Tesco store. Convenience stores, they're all pretty much privately owned, and not a lot of them are 24 hours. So yeah, it's something we just don't really have here. I was pretty surprised to see that there were so many convenience stores in Japan. I think what I find funny is when there's like a 7-Eleven and then literally right next door there's a Family Mart. And it's like, what? But it's crazy because usually they both get equal amounts of business, which, I don't know, that was so shocking to me. But yeah, there's a lot of convenience stores in Japan. But like I've said before, Japan is a convenient country and having a lot of convenience stores just makes sense. Okay, number 4. Apartments. This is gonna sound crazy, but just hear me out. So if I make a direct comparison to London, I would say London has a lot of really tall, I would say, we call them tower blocks. And in those tower blocks, there'll be like 20 or more floors, and then they'll have apartments in those floors. And then we have a lot of houses in London as well. In terms of apartment buildings, like small apartment buildings that are only 3 or 4 floors, we do not have very many of them at all. There's something that just isn't popular here, and I'm not really sure how that's happened or why that's happened. We also have huge houses that have been converted into apartments. So there'll be a house that's many, many years old, and it looks like on the outside just one big house, but when you go in, you realize they're all separate apartments. So when I moved to Japan, I was pretty surprised to see how many small apartment blocks there are, buildings of 3 or 4 floors. That was really surprising to me. I must say I really like that because I would much prefer to live in a building with only 3 or 4 floors than a massive tower block with like 20 plus floors. It just feels a bit safer and a bit more intimate, so you know more of your neighbors. That's my cat. I'm sorry if you can hear her. She's lovely. So yeah, I was really amazed to see that. Luckily in London, my house is a house. I'm very fortunate. But weirdly, I prefer apartments. Now that I've lived in an apartment in Japan, I love apartments. I think they just suit me better. I like the design. Okay, so finally, number 5, bikes and bike racks. In the UK, there are a lot of cyclists, and we even have bicycles that you can rent, and they are pretty much everywhere. But it is nothing compared to the amount of bicycles that I see in Japan. This is definitely something that truly, truly shocked me, even just the first time I came to Japan, because I think especially for a city like Tokyo, you really don't expect to see cyclists. I guess when you think of a busy city, you just think of cars, right? And one of the things I really love are the bike racks that like go on top of each other. So like, they're like, how do I explain this even? Like when you can park a bike on the bottom level, but then there's a second level and a third level. That is so crazy to me. And also I love that pretty much each station has its own little bike parking area, which that's not a thing here in the UK, or in London especially. The government is trying to encourage more people to cycle instead of using cars in particular, just for the environment. But man, oh man, there are so many more cyclists in Tokyo and Japan in general. They're everywhere. And I love how many cyclists have their kids on the back as well. I think that's great. I really wish that I had experienced that as a child, because honestly, it just looks like so much fun. I think it's pretty cool, and I was just really shocked to see so many cyclists. It's just not really something that I would have imagined. Definitely something that there is a lot of, and something that I found pretty surprising. But anyway, that is it for this list. Let me know what you guys think. I love seeing your comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.